Absolutely. Today, IEBC Commissioner, including the Chairman Wafula Chebukati, together with his two remaining commissioners, appeared before the Building Bridges Initiative today at KICC to present some of the recommendations they would like to be taken into consideration. And you know, today, as per today, IEBC is running with only two commissioners and the chairman. And some of the recommendations they presented before the BBI task force is that they would like to have a staggered elections whereby there's no need of holding, elections for the 6 positions in one day, and instead to stagger them, whereby we have a situation whereby we start with the elections, with the county elections, and thereafter we move to the national elections, and that will make their work more efficient and effective. Another recommendation they presented before the BBI is that of having a staggered appointment of commissioners of IEBC, whereby in any time an election comes up, we have an experienced commissioner in the IEBC instead of every time having new commissioners in the commission for every election. That makes it a big problem because you end up having commissioners with no institutional memory. And another recommendation they talked about today is the need to have the election results being transmitted to multi-locations instead of transmitting the election results to the IEBC server alone. And this is whereby they are saying that political parties should also have some servers whereby the election results can be transmitted to, so as to remove any kind of mischief to try and interfere with the results. Those are some of the recommendations, and some of the challenges they talked about also today is inadequate funding, and they're saying that they need some enough funding to be able to also clear their pending bills, because they are saying that they're experiencing pending bills that are growing each and every day. And also they need some money to be able to take care and maintain the technology that was used during last general election, because they're saying if they don't get the funding to maintain this technology, the technology will end up being obsolete and it won't be able to be used again, and therefore Kenya will be forced again to invest in another technology. Basically, these are some of the issues that came up as Chairman Wafula Chebukati presented some of the recommendation. And also one thing that is happening today, as you've said, the National Assembly is going to debate the report of the Public Accounts Committee that had recommended the exit of IEBC chiefs, led by the chairman himself, Wafula Chebukati, together with his two commissioners, and they're going to decide whether to pass it the way it is or to do some amendments on the report. And it's going to happen today in the afternoon. And earlier on, we were able to speak to the chairman of Wafula Chebukati and asked him what does he make of this report that really indicted him together with his two remaining commissioners. And here is what he said.
After we finished answering audit queries, the PSC invited former commissioner and the former CEO to also come and give an input on the audit queries. But of course, the former CEO made allegations which were not even part of the audit queries. And we have seen the report of PSC. Most of what we presented, both in writing and oral, is not captured in that report. So most of the information we gave has not been used in that report or for purpose of arriving at the recommendations which you are referring to. And so we believe we don't know what happened, why PSC ignored our submissions, but the matter is on the floor of the House. We shall let the House discuss it. I believe in Parliament there are men and women who will be able to see through the report.
Absolutely. Today we are going to have a heated debate before the House of the National Assembly as the members of Parliament debate the report. And the report is in its second reading. They're going to decide whether they're going to change it or they're going to pass the recommendation as per the report that will see the IEBC chiefs go home, because it is a hot debate, because members of Parliament, some of them want all the commissioners of the IEBC to go home and be able to constitute another commission, while others also want to have a situation whereby political parties will be able to nominate also commissioners to the IEBC. And therefore, these are some of the issues that are going to come up during today's afternoon debate, and we'll be able to update you on what will transpire today. Right now, back to studio.
Thank you so much, Vincent, for that update. To a developing story, and operations at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport are slowly returning to normalcy a day after a strike by the Kenya Airport Workers Union brought activities at the airport to a standstill. Our reporter Victor Kiprop has been monitoring activities at the airport and now joins us live. Victor, what is the state of affairs there right now?
It is all an entirely different day from yesterday at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Edmond. From the long queues to cancelled flights, delayed flights, frustration by passengers, to almost barely no queues at all today. Flights continuing as scheduled, and a few, probably one or two flights cancelled. We can almost say that normalcy is returning to the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport right here in Nairobi. And we haven't been able to speak to any officers from the Kenya Airports Authority or the national carrier, that's Kenya Airways. But from our own investigations, only a bunch of arrivals had been cancelled or delayed. Some of them include flights from Zanzibar, Dar es Salaam, and those who are delayed include flights from Entebbe and Juba and Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar. But only two planned flights which were supposed to depart from the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport have been cancelled, and those are from to Brazzaville and Mauritius. So we can almost authoritatively say that normalcy is returning to the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. This is attributed to the assistance provided by the Kenya Air Force, which was deployed here yesterday following that strike by the Kenya Airports Workers Union, who are protesting the proposed takeover of this airport by the struggling national carrier, that's Kenya Airways. But that's not to say that the strike is over, Edmond. The strike remains ongoing, according to the Kenya Airport Workers Union lawyer, that's Paul Wanyama. He said yesterday that the strike will remain ongoing until Friday, when the union workers who have been charged with inciting this strike, which Transport Cabinet Secretary James Macharia terms as illegal, will be brought to court and their case will be heard. So the strike is ongoing. The government and especially the Ministry of Transport maintains that the strike is illegal, but as it is, operations are starting to return to normalcy at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. But we will be here to, of course, keep updating you on the ongoing happenings around this airport as regards to the operations that are now returning. Edmond.
All right, thank you so much, Victor Kiprop. He says normalcy has at least resumed at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, of course, following the strike that we had yesterday by the Kenya Airport Workers Union, or just, you know, making sure that at least the officials are making sure that normalcy resumes and flights are taking off and landing as scheduled, as opposed to what we saw yesterday when there were a lot of delays and of course people had to cancel some of their travel plans. Now to another story that we are looking at today. The father of the slain city lawyer Robert Chesang fell ill after receiving news of the death of his son. Chesang was shot dead 2 weeks ago at his house in Lukenya, Machakos County. His wife, a Nyeri-based magistrate, is among 4 people arrested in connection with the murder.
At Kalabata village in Baringo North, family of the late Robert Chesang are still trying to come to terms with the news of his sudden death. Among those in mourning is his father Chesang Kiptala, who fell ill after receiving news. Kiptala can neither sit up nor walk. For 3 days, the family says he has not eaten.
Mina sutuka kwa kijana hii kabisa. Mina sutuka kabisa. Naribu mwili wangu kabisa.
Naomba serikali atutafutie wenye waliua yeye na wamshike waweke kwa jela, kwa sababu tutaweza kupoteza huyu ndugu yetu na tupoteza tena baba. ni mbaya sana.
Na hapa ni hospitali ni mbali sana. Na hakuna hapa tawa. Tena hakuna barabara mzuri.
Wakati sina sikia maneno, sina nasutoka sana. Hata siku 3 siku lala hata mimi. Kwa sababu ni chungu.
The city lawyer was killed 2 weeks ago in his house at Lukenya by gunmen who forced their way into the estate and forced a guard to identify his house. His wife, Macy Chesang, a Nyeri-based magistrate, Sergeant Richard Loronyei Moru of Riruta Police Station, Lawrence Lempesi, a retired senior police officer in Baragoi, Samburu, and Peter Mbithi, who is attached to the Mutuine police post, were arrested in connection with the murder. The suspects were arraigned in Mavoko on Monday, where the judge ordered they remain in custody for 9 more days as police complete investigations. Sharon Baranga, NTV.
Now, thousands of exhibitors are showcasing different items and innovations at the 6th Devolution Conference in Kirinyaga County. Our reporter Melita Oletengais now joins us live from there. Melita, what are some of the items that we are looking at?
Yeah, Edmond, as you've rightly put it, thousands and thousands of exhibitors are showcasing different items here, exciting things to watch, exciting things to learn from. And of course, this has been going on for the past 3 days since Monday. And I'm standing at the exhibition center. I've been able to walk around a number of stalls, actually. I've seen a number of innovations as we were informing our viewers earlier on. But Edmond, right now I have something interesting to show you and our viewers. If you can just come with me, we are right at the Kisumu County stand. A number of innovations that have caught our eye. And Edmond, the items you're looking at are not your ordinary kind of items. This particular seat that I'm sitting on is made out of hyacinth fiber, and it's not just this seat, but we have also serviette holders. We have numerous items here, especially what you can see. You can see menus, you can see serviette holders, you can see a table made from hyacinth fiber, and a glass. You can see this also has been made from hyacinth. And just to know how this actually happened, because most of us are actually mesmerized, I'm going to be talking to the CEC who's in charge here. Just start with your name. Tell us, how do you come up with this?
Okay. My name is Archie Ojani Alai, and I'm the Minister for Tourism, Culture and Sports in Kisumu County. Now, as part of the Big Four, trade and manufacturing is one of the Big Four. And so we're also looking at the whole area of job creation through the President's Big Four agenda. Hyacinth is a menace on Lake Victoria. But we have industrious Kenyans who have gone out and said, how can we make good out of this menace? So out of this cottage industry that they've created, they've become furniture makers who, instead of using traditional wood, they are using hyacinth, which they take out, they dry, and then they treat it, and then they start weaving. They weave furniture. They weave office equipment. They weave pencil holders. They weave anything. They weave lampshades. They weave magazine racks. And this is on order. The organization is called Women in Fishing Industry Program. It is based in Kisumu, and they've got their website, www.wifip.org, The whole idea is to ensure that the public is employed, is busy, is active. And also people are interested in innovative products. They don't want standard classical pieces. So this organization, 1, empowers women, 2, utilizes the hyacinth menace. And now as we are dredging the lake, we're cleaning out that lake, they know that they're going to be in good business.
Thank you so much. As you've heard from County Executive from Kisumu there. And I can tell you that this
We do apologize for that signal loss there. Melita, of course, just showing us some of the items and the innovations that are being, showcased on the sidelines of the conference. And talking about the conference still, Deputy President William Ruto is expected this afternoon to close it. President Uhuru Kenyatta opened the conference earlier this week, and NASA leader Raila Odinga also addressed the gathering yesterday. Let us.
Well, Edmond, Nyabola, right now what is happening is that Deputy President William Ruto has just arrived. He arrived a few minutes ago, almost about 10 minutes ago. And what we have seen is that most leaders who are not in at this particular point, they had already gathered in other rooms, just trying to discuss devolution as a whole, have just come in and converged. And what is happening right now at the podium is that there is a discussion on what is happening. And one of the most important things that they are discussing at this particular point, which is some of the things that come at the tail end, is the regional blocks. Yesterday we saw Raila Odinga trying to say that it is time that the regional blocks took shape, and also most of the leaders, most of the counties that are not warming up to the idea should actually do so. It is something that we would also expect that Deputy President William Ruto will be speaking to. But of most important, we do expect that probably he will be answering back to former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and NASA leader on what he said yesterday. He actually fell short of calling him a thief when he said that the 21 billion shillings that was reported lost with regards to the dam scandal, and Deputy President William Ruto came in and mentioned a figure of 7 billion. So there is a matter there that we would be wanting to see how will it be taken forward. But then again, there are those of the feeling that when politicians continue talking about this issue on corruption, there is nothing else that they want to do other than to discard it completely, because it will be a show of this one is pointing at this other person, and probably that is where the war on corruption gets lost. We have seen there have been serious corruption issues within the country, with the Treasury Cabinet Secretary even being interviewed for over 20, grilled for over 20 hours. So what are they giving us as solutions is what is not coming out very clear. As we do expect, even from morning, those who came in, most of them are DP William Ruto allies, and they walked in very early, expecting just to hear what the ground is all about. We've even seen some politicians who are at this particular arena just warming up to their friends, and they were discussing that topic from Raila Odinga yesterday and what he said about William Ruto. And it is something that will probably be setting the pace for what Deputy President William Ruto will be talking about this afternoon. And you see, these two are not new to controversy, because they have been hitting hard at each other, not just in within this period that the handshake has been in existence, but also there before, since they broke ranks in 2007. So it is an interesting thing that we will be looking at, and whether DP William Ruto will actually say that he is not going to go that direction, but just talk about things that concern devolution, is only a matter that we can wait and see. He has just walked in, the plenary is going on, then they will invite the minister in charge of devolution to talk, then the chairperson of the COG, who will in turn invite the Deputy President William Ruto to officially close this particular conference in Kirinyaga. It is a 6th devolution conference, and what have they learned? Probably it is something that we will be seeing being implemented in counties going forward. Right now it's back to you, Edmond, in studio.
Thank you so much, Kennedy Mureithi. We are certainly looking forward to that speech by the Deputy President. Now, opposition leader Raila Odinga has called for the strengthening of devolution so as to spur development across the country. Speaking at the devolution conference in Kirinyaga yesterday, Raila said a referendum would be the best cure to entrench a stronger devolved unit in the constitution. Raila has also called for the hastening of forming of economic blocks to spur growth and help counties grow.
That a number of our counties are today are too tiny to compete and to marshal internal and external resources for their development. They are small in population, based for agricultural production, manufacturing, innovation, and infrastructural development. I believe our counties will do better were they to be grouped into bigger entities. The creation of regional blocks is a logical response to dealing with this problem of economies of scale in enhancing the potential for development of counties. This forum, the Council of Governors, should robustly consider and debate the need for using the envisaged constitutional reforms to formalize regionalism in law.
Now, the Orange Democratic Party has said it will stand by its decision to expel Malindi Member of Parliament Aisha Jumwa from the party. ODM Chairman John Mbadi said the MP had violated the rules governing the party and even the Constitution, and that ODM does not regret its decision. Mbadi spoke in Nairobi during a forum organized by the Center for Multi-Party Democracy.
If Dori can write a letter, ananyenyekea, aseme, I'm sorry. My party, I veered off. And the lady and her chest thumb, bring it on. So when we bring it on, what is the problem? You know, this kind of hypocrisy in this country. You know, you people don't know how much time and opportunity that we give to our members. Many times. We wrote letters, they came, spoke to us, we said, fine. The next thing you see, the next weekend, I don't want to say much because this matter has gone to political parties' dispute tribunal.
And to a story we are very proud about. Nation Media Group shone bright in the inaugural Africa Health Media Network Awards in Global Health Reporting held last night in Kigali, Rwanda. NTV Health reporter Eunice Omolo scooped the best global health reporting in the television category and emerged the overall winner in global health category in the regional level, including the East, Central and Southern Africa, East Africa Community as well, and Southern Africa Development Community. The winning story highlighted the blight of the bleed. Eunice Kilonzo of Daily Nation scooped the best winner in global health reporting in the print category. The awards took place in the wake of the Africa Health Agenda Conference aimed at ironing out the components of the universal healthcare in African states. And to some business now. Taxify, the ride-hailing service for taxis and motorbikes, is rebranding as Bolt. The move follows the company's transition to providing multiple transportation solutions, including scooters, as it prepares to penetrate the public transport market. The Estonian-born tech company, founded 5 years ago, is currently in over 30 countries in Africa and Europe and serves over 25 million customers. Taxify joins the list of other transport technology companies such as Little Cab, Safiri Express and Egypt-based Swivel, set to disrupt the market by introducing mass transport applications.
The capital needs that we are seeing shareholders putting last year and this year are driven by the growth of the bank. I don't want to comment on the 2018 numbers, but at the high level, the growth last year was in excess of 30%.
Kenya is the largest investment market for IFU in Africa, and it also among the highest for IFU globally, which is testimony to the opportunities that are here, but also to the history that IFU has in Kenya, having invested for many decades in the country. We will be part of the shareholders of Citizen Bank, working hard.
Beyond the borders now, and the Democratic Republic of Congo's recently elected President Felix Tshisekedi and his predecessor Joseph Kabila have announced to form a coalition government following talks. Despite Tshisekedi's election, the 55-year-old has found himself effectively having to share power since the presidential poll.
President Felix Tshisekedi has not been able to push through his choice for Prime Minister
On NTV at 1, I am Waro Tekiru, and we start on a sad note. Daniel Rudisha is dead. Rudisha, alongside Hezekiah Nyamao, Charles Asati, and the late Naftali Bon, placed Kenya firmly on the global athletics map in 1968 when they struck silver in the 4x4 meters relay at the Mexico Olympic Games. His love for athletics inspired one of his sons, David Rudisha, to take up athletics, and he is currently the world 800 meters record holder and two-time Olympic champion. May his soul rest in peace. And as SportPesa Shield defending champions Kariobangi Sharks will face Elim FC from Kitale in their round of 32 tie to be played on Saturday 16th March, while Tusker have handed the Naivas a walkover after pulling out of the domestic competition. In a peak of the 16 ties, KPL defending champions Gor Mahia will face Ken Poly, current leaders. KPL leaders, Bandari will have a trip to Marsabit to tackle Kayo, while KPL strugglers, AFC Leopards, play Transfork in a Western Derby. Sofapaka take on Bungoma All-Stars. Ulinzi go to the coast for an encounter with Assad, and a Western Steamer duel with Uprising from Nairobi's Majengo. The winner bags 2 million shillings and a ticket to fly Kenya's flag in the CAF Confederation Cup. It was a night of supreme drama in the UEFA Champions League on Wednesday night as Manchester United and Porto dramatically sailed into the last 8 with the assistance of video assistant referee VAR. Manchester United, who lost 2-0 in the first leg, staged an incredible comeback to tie their match 3-3 and beat Paris Saint-Germain on away goals, while Porto sailed past Roma 4-3, having trailed 2-1 after the first leg. Let's enjoy the night's action.
That was the message at the
Thank you so much, Warode. Of course, now not as a sports reporter and anchor, something else which is a bit exciting, a bit more exciting. Of course, I loved sports. Not to say that sports was not exciting. I loved it, and I still enjoy sports to this day. Thank you so much for watching NTV at 1 at this hour. Thank you so much for your time. We will be back on NTV Alasiri at 4 p.m. and, of course, NTV Junior at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. with NTV Tonight. Bye-bye.